So this is part of the Burl collection. These are all things that we've salvaged from different places.
James Gyre knows his wood.
This is a eucalyptus burl from Australia called Red Malay. This one's from Pittsburgh. We think
In
it's
fact,
home. We're not
he
sure.
never met a piece of wood that he couldn't fashion into a work of art.
This is a work in progress. We have a maple burl for the full moon, and then ebony for the new moons, and then the phases in between. This will be strung like a necklace.
Jewelry, intricate geometric screens, wall hangings, and unique Christmas ornaments. All of them cut using laser technology.
These ones don't have the ribbons on it yet, but we have some more kind of classical mathematical figures like this golden ratio or the Sierpinski triangle. But then we also have ones like these hexagon patterns or the circle packing. And then, we always have to do a tree because it's Christmas. But then there's also more kind of classic star.
Gyre has enjoyed geometry all his life. He teaches it too at Carnegie Mellon University. So it is no surprise that he calls his company Naked Geometry, a name that jumps out on the internet.
Naked geometry gets clicked on a lot because people want to know what it is. Everyone's a little curious how that works out. Like a triangle with no clothes, what exactly is that? Naked geometry is kind of a play on the term sacred geometry, which in history was the attempt to learn something about the mind of God by figuring out what they could learn about nature. The thought being that if you were able to define a form in nature, that it was somehow important and meaningful because it wouldn't be there by accident. But for me, I just present the geometry on its own, unadorned, hence naked geometry.
Gyre started his business in Garfield, then moved to this huge space in Lawrenceville. Business is growing.
Well, we just haven't had everything under one roof. So we're gonna have all of our inventory, our shipping, our design, our milling, our laser production, our sanding and varnishing, all of that stuff under one spot.
The warehouse is full of all kinds of wood, maybe more than he'll ever use. But for a naturalist, it's hard to turn down a good piece of lumber.
We buy some plywood that's from sustainable sourcing, but for the most part, we have an incredible network of other wood shops, arborists, agricultural recycling centers, people who just know us and like what we do, let us know anytime there's any tree that's down anywhere. When the trees fall of their own accord or die while standing, it's called deadfall. And one of the beauties of that is that while it's really good for there to be some of that left in the forest, is that I can get a tree worth of wood without killing it.
Birch, mahogany, maple, and more. And it all starts with a design.
First, I have to do this drawing. I use Adobe Illustrator, but you can use any vector program. And I draw these lines. I make this shape and I figure out what the general overall design will be.
From the computer screen to the laser.
And then the laser has two different processes. One is the engraving, where it burns the surface of the wood, and the other is where it cuts it out. And here it is, done. It's been cut out. Most of the pieces just fall out of it. And there's a piece. One ornament.
After that, sanding, varnish, and finally display. Online, at arts fairs, or holiday marts like this one in downtown Pittsburgh.
Every product that I'm now cutting, I had to test a million times to make it. But that's part of the fun. The more sustainability we can muster, the more we can experiment, the more we can try to make more exciting art. And bigger pieces of wood, bigger and bigger saws. I won't be happy until we have a real mill.